You don't want ants.
They'll get in your pants. They'll get in your pants.
They will. They will. Welcome to Going Yard. We got a good show. Fun one. Fun one today. We're going in. We got Blockbuster fantasy trades. Chat about that. Nope. It is the season for Blockbuster trades. We're getting into that. Diving back into pick'ems. We're going to hit that. Chat about the birds and maybe our new guest that we won here. Is we're gonna get fun.
Oh, we're gonna get him.
A little bit of news, and then we'll top it off at the end. We'll top it off with a little weekend check-in. Weekend check-in. But how are you, Alex? How was your picnics?
Picnics were great, just lovely. But you know what's not a picnic, Jake, is fantasy football. It's not for the light of heart.
There you go.
It is. It is tough. I think you and I, as we dive into trades, why would you need to trade in fantasy? Maybe things are going wrong. Jake and I both executed some trades here. I had a minor one. Jake had a major one.
You had a big one as well. You had another big one in a different league. What are you don't be bashful over there. What are you talking about?
I could talk about it. So if you're into fantasy football, you're probably listening to this. You're thinking, what did you get? Did you get maybe a B or C star player? No, I went all in. I got Saquon Barkley. I went with my heart. And not my head at all.
There you go.
Not my head at all. It was my cousin. He reached out to me, Garrett. He says, I would love Egbuka. He's a wide receiver for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Mike Evans goes down this week. So you're thinking he's going to get a lot of targets. He's been an excellent rookie. He wants him. Only thing he tells me is Saquon is off the table. After a lot of negotiating, Saquon was on the table. I had to give up. This is my haul. This is what I gave away. Egbuka. I gave up not Brandon Jacobs. Josh Jacobs.
Yes.
Also a bruiser, like the early 2000s running back, Brandon Jacobs.
That is big.
This is Josh Jacobs, who just played for the Packers. And then the third person was Devontae Adams. So 3 starters for his team. For Saquon Barkley, I got Cortland Sutton, the wide receiver for the Denver Broncos. Jake's giving a meager meh. And then the highly underappreciated, the slow out of the gate, Chase Brown coming in, running back from the Bengals. A real buy low for Alex to get Saquon.
Which is playing currently. He's playing currently. Did you start him? Did you start him and
Chase
go
Brown?
with? Yeah.
Chase Brown I took out. Lineup. I played Keenan Allen this week instead of him. So a litany of mistakes coming from Alex. Fast and furious. You don't know where the mistake's going to come next.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. Right there with you.
Because Keenan Allen has 3 straight weeks of 16 points. I place him into the lineup after this trade. He gets maybe 6 or 7 points now.
Yeah.
And so that's you had in the rundown for the show here the opposite of the Midas touch. And I'm highly optimistic about my futures. I think my futures are very good with this trade. My right nows, pretty bad. But I'm optimistic about the future.
Pretty fun though, because you've got, what is that, Bijan and Saquon together?
Yeah. Now I should say, this should be considered.
That's big. That's like two pistols.
You know, I got pistols. I got 2 pistons, I'd say, running the engine of the.
Okay, there you go.
I think that might be the screenshot right there. I might have got it.
This is as bad as the what was the burrito steering wheel bit? Do you remember?
Yeah, you were doing a whole lot of stuff. This is not for the audio. This is for the visual. The people watching. But yeah, it should be noted that trade took place in a 10-person league. I have a pretty deep team, and I wanted 2 running backs.
Consolidate.
Yeah, I needed the 2 running backs. I felt like Chase Brown was like highly coveted. Obviously, with the Burrow, he gets knocked down a bit. Slow start. But if you look, he's played a lot of good defenses to start. and I'm gonna allude to something that we're gonna talk about. And I've been rambling. I want you to jump in here because I can feel myself rambling. I'm a rambling man.
You're doing great.
I feel like the preseason's over now, Jake. The first 4 regular season games, the 4 regular season games of the NFL have become the new preseason. We're done. We're done now. And I saw what's on the horizon, and I said, this is where I want to put my chips. This is what the future looks like. The regular season starts today. And now my rookie running backs are getting some play. We can jump into that later, but I've even been putting off your trade for too long here. I think you got to dive into your trade.
Well, I think it's perfect.
I think it's perfect
because I got rid of Chase Brown. So we're on other sides. We've got different futures, but the same present, which is poor teams. This is obviously a different league, but 12-person double flex, I should mention. And I have Bijan. He's about the only good thing happening with the team. I had Burrow go down immediately. I did change the team name to Burrowing My Own Grave. We talked about that a few episodes ago.
That has been executed. It looks great.
Locked in. And so I end up trading with our dear friend Andrew, who the second Burrow goes down, just texts the group and says, "Let's talk turkey." Every time.
Love him for that.
Notorious. Just he will send shit trades to everybody.
Scumbag offers.
He's just looking for a deal. He just wants a deal so bad. Lucky for me, 2 big things are happening with Andrew's camp, and one of which was he came out and already asked about the QB situation. The other lucky thing is he ends up having quite a bit of injuries. In a double flex, he needs a lot of positions. And I guess the third thing as well is he actually really likes Daniel Jones. He's very bullish on Daniel Jones, which I found out and was very happy about.
Do you mean Indiana Jones? Or are you talking about Indiana Jones?
I am.
Okay.
I am talking about Indiana Jones. Danny Dimes is no longer with us. It's strictly Indiana Jones. And he's got his hat, he's got his whip, and he's been slinging it. So luckily, knowing that, we were talking about a trade for Lamar Jackson. So he has Lamar, and he loves Kamara as well. I had Kamara. Andrew has won a championship with Kamara. So he's coming in. He wants Kamara bad. He wants Jameson Williams is another guy on my team that he wanted. And I was like, look, Lamar, I need a QB. I've got Daniel Jones, Geno Smith, but Lamar would be great. He wants Kamara. Chase Brown gets thrown in. And now this starts happening. And I say, look, like if I'm getting, like I need a running back. Like you need a lot of bodies. You need a lot of people. Luckily this week, Kamara and Chase Brown both projected 14.5 points, and Derrick Henry's projected like 17. And I was like, look, I'll give you these 2 guys for Derrick Henry. That's, you're winning here. And then the QB, I'd love Lamar. Like, what makes that happen? And so we start going back and forth. We must have done like 20 back and forth versions of like
saga.
Derek without Lamar, with Lamar without Derek. And then eventually it got to a point where he was just like, he ends up sending Derek, Lamar, and then he goes with Daniel Jones, Kamara, Chase Brown, Jameson Williams, and then he threw in my waiver wire pickup of Trey Tucker. And I was like, dude,
who cares? I was like, Trey Tucker. Yeah.
But what's crazy is I end up pushing back and go, Tucker, you can't do Tucker.
That's how you get the deal done. Yeah.
I said, Tucker's not, like, I just picked him up. What's the difference of Tucker? I said, this is a 5 for 2. I'm not going to have a team. I need a flex. So he threw in Judy. So he
Jerry
throws
Jeudy.
back Jerry Jeudy, and that was the deal. It was a 5 for 3.
Yeah.
5 for 3. And it looks great. I mean, my starting roster, I've got
I'm looking at
Lamar,
it now.
Lamar, Derrick Henry, Bijan, really awesome. Devontae Adams, who ironically, Alex,
Betrayed. Yep.
you know,
Yep.
yeah, I
read up,
am bullish on.
No.
We were opposite on.
But you were in a
almost.
12-person league. Devontae Adams is different than in a 10-person league where I felt like I was
Sure.
wide receiver heavy.
Yes,
I didn't want
It
to
was,
get rid of Devontae Adams. So yeah.
yes, yeah. So yeah, I mean the team kind of shakes out, and then the interesting thing now is I have all of this bench space to kind of just throw at the waiver wire and throw things around. Did you see I picked up what's his
Caleb
name?
Johnson.
Christian.
Oh, and who's
I picked up Caleb because I saw the injury to Warren, and I was hoping he could kind of go.
Oh, I see. You're trying to get the Packers. So Christian Watson, is that what you're going to say? And
Christian
Devontae
Watson and Wicks. I wanted to see who could hit because I know you love George.
I love the Packers pass offense. It's so difficult to pick a specific wide receiver. You don't know who he's going to target. Romeo Doubs is the early favorite. I've tried to pick up Romeo Doubs in multiple leagues.
He was incredible this weekend.
I know. He was just sitting on my bench. I played Golden instead.
Here's the thing. I bet you that like Dobbs doesn't have that kind of day the rest of the year.
Right.
Right. He had, what was it, 2 or 3 touchdowns, I believe?
3 touchdowns. He had a 3-tutty night, and he had a big night. Because it was like he was getting slant routes, which to me, I was just happy that because I'm watching that game. I believe I have Jordan Love in every single one of my leagues. So all 3 leagues, I have Jordan Love. I'm so high on him this year. I think MVP. I can't believe they've tied now, and also to the Browns they lost. That's pretty surprising, but awesome for me because would love them to be in some barn burners where they have to throw more than they should. But at least for that, I was just so happy to see him throwing slant routes on the goal line and not handing it off to Josh Jacobs, who I just traded away, because I would have been swearing at the TV if it was Josh Jacobs. Three touchdowns instead of Romeo Doubs with the 3 touchdowns.
I mean, Jacobs did have a good game though. He did have a really good game. Yeah.
Yep. And his knee's a little rickety.
I know. So
I saw that. And I was like, yes. Did I just get off the Titanic?
Yeah. Well, I'm happy you brought it up because fast forward, Lamar ends up tweaking himself, and I'm just like, that's the opposite of the Midas touch there is I have Burrow to start the year. I finally do this massive deal. It took me all this back and forth throughout the week. I overhaul everything, get Lamar, and he has a hamstring injury. Oh, man.
And I'm looking at Derrick Henry has 7.8 as well.
Yep. Well, the team, I did know going in, this was the week to make the trade because both of them, like historically, Spagnuolo is the best guy against Lamar. Specifically Lamar. And in the broadcast, they mention it. So I knew I had to kind of eat it for a week to get the guys longer term.
Smart.
But they just took them out. They had a lot of injuries. The Ravens had a lot of injuries.
You briefly touched on it. I just want to reiterate it, revisit your point, and hammer it home for any listener trying to glean any type of actionable advice from this, which is when somebody has a bad projection, good time to try to go get them, because they both had poor projections for that 1 week. And that's a good time to kind of pounce on them. If you think they'll have a good, end of the season, it could be a good time to reach out and make a deal with somebody. And it looks like
that might be
a rushing touchdown. Sorry.
Oh, good to know. Actually, I'm in some leagues, got some things.
I'm looking at your game, and it looks like it was. You're at 24%. You could still pull it out.
Hanging in there. I'm just like watching a car crash because I've got no one in play, and he's got 2 guys, but
where you're just rooting against the other person. That's a fantasy experience, you know, where you're just watching a game going, anything but you. You know?
I know.
Yeah.
So we'll see. The Monday nights are both kind of going right now. So we'll have to see, maybe check in throughout the pod to see if there's any big updates. But man, the rest of the team, I feel like, how are you in the rest of the leagues? Have you been keeping up with the fellowship of the fantasy league? Have you seen
Do you
that at
mean
all?
the group chat? Like the group chat? That
Yeah.
group chat for the fantasy league?
Yeah.
I've been dipping in and out. It seems like there's some real feelings toward Jared. Little banter, Nick and Jared
Nick,
going
dude,
after it.
Nick is
He's
just
getting a little prickly, huh?
Prickly is a good word. Very prickly.
But that was also, I'm still living in the wake of that. I'm just quietly, slowly, like you can't hear me. You're like I'm in the church, but I'm in the corner praying Goff doesn't have a good year. You know, I'm quietly praying Goff doesn't have a good year. And I picked up in that league Drake
Alex,
May.
you're like Snape. You're like Snape during the Quidditch game, just doing the spell quietly.
Yes. And I have my wand, and I have the wand, and it was like a cloak over my mouth. Yeah.
For the record, was a counter spell, by the way, but we won't get into it. But it was
This
a
is a
counter
real
spell.
tangent. I'm going to just at least address it's a tangent before we really dive down it. Have you finished all of the Harry Potters? The movies?
The books or the movies?
The movies.
Yeah. Oh, yes. The movies, yes. And actually the books, a couple of things about Harry Potter. Lisa has gotten me, I mean, we're big Potterheads. We went to Universal. I have my Gryffindor mug. She has her Hufflepuff. So we've got those.
Huh.
Yeah. Huh. Stoner by the kitchen. That's her. Yeah. I could see her as a Ravenclaw too.
Smart.
Very, smart, studious. And very organized.
Wait,
so I could see that as well.
Stoners by the kitchen? Is that what you meant by that? Is that what that means?
Hufflepuffs. Yeah, they're very pacifist. And so very pacifist and go with the flow. And they are next to the kitchen in Hogwarts. And so they're just kind of sneaking off. And anyway.
I could see myself being there.
But
go ahead.
Yeah. I will say the couple of other things is we actually went to Cursed Child, the play where it's basically just a magic show that they do rapid fire as a play. And I ended up getting also Lisa, the LA Philharmonic accompanied the playing of the 7th book. I think Deathly Hallows Part 1 at the Hollywood Bowl for a gift. So it was really fun.
Listener, I'm going to stop here. This is how you do it. This is why he's going to be married in a week, okay?
Yeah.
It's pretty easy. You know, you listen to their interests.
It's pretty easy.
You take note. And you follow through. God, Jake, yes. So, it sounds like a great night altogether. I don't even like Harry Potter, but that sounds fun. It sounds like a good night out.
Oh, I thought you were a little Potterhead.
This is what I was going to dive into. This is why I brought it up. Is I was out with a friend, and she couldn't believe, she was a Potterhead. She could not believe that I had not finished it, that I got as far as I did. I got like 5. I have not seen the last 2, I think, movies. I don't know. I've not seen the last 2. And she felt this was sacrilegious. She felt this was, so I didn't realize bringing this up that you'd be on her side. I thought you'd be with me.
Oh no.
I want to see it. It's not like I don't, but I don't know.
You're in prime Potter season because it's the fall now. We're hitting October. You gotta fire up a crock pot, and you just gotta wake up in the morning, get a coffee, and just do an absolute rundown. Start with Sorcerer's Stone. Go Chamber of Secrets. Just do a marathon. Get that crock pot and just go after it. Maybe
what are you putting in the
break it up.
What are you putting in the crock pot? What were the directions for the crock pot? Are you just putting in any type of beef or
that's
is
a good
there a
question.
specific
There are some things
with Harry Potter?
Yeah.
Like what are we eating?
That's a good question. That's a good question. I know there are Harry Potter. I have seen on Instagram. There's like a Harry Potter type theme where you can time up what they eat in the movie, and have those things ready throughout your marathoning. So you
fun.
kind of have like, maybe they have like the Christmas dinner and there's like a turkey leg or something.
Yeah.
And you're kind of eating it. Or butterbeer. You got butterbeer. The
butterbeer, I have to say, that's tip top of my list. I did get that at I've been to Harry Potter World. It's not like I'm not a Potterhead.
You're such a pothead, dude.
I know. Go Harry. So I've done some of the things. I just didn't follow through and finish. I think I learned the ending. It got spoiled for me. This feels a lot like, remember when I watched Red Wedding before I shouldn't have in Game of Thrones?
Al.
So
that was Al's fault.
It was AJ's fault.
Really? I thought it was Al.
No, it's AJ. AJ was like, you gotta watch this show with me. The show is great. He didn't know it was the Red Wedding, but he knew it was going to be a good episode. He lost his mind. And so anyway, it delayed me watching that. So I think Harry Potter is similar, where I'll get to it. I just haven't yet.
It's quite the delay.
It is. It definitely on the back burner.
Yeah, they're going to actually, it might be good timing because they're going to come out with the remake of the movies, but it's a show now.
This was going to be my last bit about Harry Potter because maybe that's what this is. I've always thought it would be hilarious to do a workplace comedy like The Office in Hogwarts with like Hufflepuff's great. It could be all of them, but it could be like some of the professors. It could be some of the students, but just people that have no drama and just in the background. It's always like, is that Harry Potter again? Like, did you hear what he did last night? He was he was in the Chamber of Secrets. He was, and like we know like how
he's a first year. He's a first year.
Exactly. And I just really mundane stuff, but they're like learning their spells, and it's just like real low key, like in the courtyard, and they're playing frisbee, but it's magic somehow. And like funny, like college tropes.
It reminds me of, I think it was a show, or I think we might have even talked about it at one point, but there was a show that was like, I'm blanking on the name of it, but the whole premise was it's in the world of superheroes, like the Justice League, but it's just people, it's normal people. And they're just like, did you see Green Lantern just ruined our apartment building?
Wait.
He just took off the top. Jake, of our the HOA better do something. You know what I mean?
No, I think that might have been when we were back in the comedy days. I think that was somebody's premise, and I believe it was not just civilians, but they work in insurance, and so they have to do insurance claims for what the superheroes do, and they're like, again, another bus. It's like, why do they keep throwing the city buses? Like,
how do I underwrite this? The amount of risk I'm taking on is insane in this thing.
Unbelievable. It's like just
Gotham, Metropolis. No one can live there. It's too expensive.
What's my overhead? Jeez.
So anyway, you're doing spells in the corner for Jared Goff. So I want to know what other players are you rooting for and against
this week?
Because I know golf, I know that league, you kind of went off though. I think Hampton was big for you, wasn't he?
So I thank you for steering the ship back into the corrected course, because we went off on a little Harry Potter tangent. This is what I was kind of alluding to earlier. Preseason's over, Jake. We're in week 4 now, and my rookie running backs are about to run rampant. Now, Harvey has done
name all of them for me. You've got Hampton, right?
Omarion Hampton is the big one. I got 2 leagues, 2 of my 3 leagues. I went Omarion Hampton, and I said, this is my guy.
Party in the Hamptons.
Party in the Hamptons. Magic in the Hamptons was my original team name. And nobody really knew that song from Lil Yachty back in 2017, so I didn't play.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
so I changed the team
Pivot.
name. I pivoted to Harvey Dent's Tua Faces,
Yeah.
and I don't love the team name, but I'm stuck with it now. I'll be honest with you. I I did a hard pivot week 1, and it's kind of leaning into the bit here because I went 0-3 to start, and now this week I've scored 164 points. I'm up at the top for one of the if Harvey could wake up, if he could wake up and get some catches, if he could be my Sean Payton, Alvin Kamara like we hoped, and he and,
So
and
sorry.
Jake
Darren Sproles, I might have said as well. Reggie Bush
Jake, he's going
might
to
have
be
been
it.
talking about.
I still believe. I still have it.
Good.
I still have
Good.
it. So Harvey and Hampton, to answer your question directly, those are my 2 rookie running backs. I had Keldon Johnson, but I gave up on him quickly. And then also, this is another dark horse one for me. Blake Corum, I thought last year he's going to be
Yep.
the guy, and then I realized
Yep.
quickly Sean McVay doesn't trust rookie running backs, and he works heavy workloads. He has been running Kyron Williams pretty long and hard the
Couple years.
last year or so.
Oh.
Yeah, or a couple years. I think we might see a little seat change, maybe 50-50. I've seen Blake Corum getting worked in, and he's looking
Yeah,
good.
he
I think he
does.
could be a late season come up where on my
Mm-hmm.
bench he's just kind of waiting in the wings.
Or if there's an
Um,
injury, I
that's
mean,
right.
that would be huge.
That's the big thing. I'm waiting on a lot of injuries this year, more than I ever have. I have a lot of backup running backs like Charbonnet. I'm just waiting for that Kenny Walker injury to pop
Please
up.
do.
He does it
He's
every
good
year.
for him
Yeah.
every year. Yeah, yeah,
So I
yeah.
have him, and then Rashad White is the last one, who I'm waiting for Bucky Irving to
Mm.
really tear something. You know,
He looked good
um,
in the birds, and we'll get to it. We'll get
yeah.
to it. But he looked good in the birds.
He's the receiving
And
back, and this is a PPR league. That's another thing I should note is I
yeah,
value PPR running backs, meaning third down running backs. So Harvey, again, that's where I think he's not a great running back. Dobbins is the more power heavy one. Harvey's value lies in hopefully getting a lot of cheap catches, a lot of cheap catches is my hope. So
yeah.
that's where I'm at. What about you? Where are you running at? What boys are you pulling for?
Well, have you seen my guy this week was and has been Woody Marks. Have you seen him?
Someone on your
Rookie
bench?
running back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Wow.
I didn't have the
Hello.
nads to pull the trigger,
That's
but
all right.
he's been quietly overtaking Chubb,
Mhm.
and we'll see how long because Mixon might come back too, but this might be a nice little run that's coming up here. If he could really take on and just get a flex for me would be just incredible. I've got him in a couple leagues.
Yeah,
It's tough, and
17.
he's kind of on
17
that.
carries, it looks like he got for you.
Yeah, and he's getting some catches. He looked pretty good, so hopefully they kind of go off of that. I wish I played him over Christian Kirk. That
Mhm.
would have been great. Um, but it's kind of tough to forecast the Texans and what the heck they're going to do this year. It's been pretty brutal, but yeah, I think he's been pretty fun. I feel like I'm still just hanging on with Ted McMillan. I feel like he's been just plodding along
Solid.
and
Solid.
he just gets double digits
Mhm.
and just kind of plods along. I hope he kind of breaks out a little bit more. And then the one guy I really want to do well, who I was kind of bullish on after the first few weeks, is Harold Fannin. Have you seen him at all? Have
Mhm.
you
The tight end for the
he's
Browns? Is that who you mean?
yeah. And
Mhm.
now he's a backup tight end, but they do both. He continues to get targets. He's
Mhm.
getting a lot of targets every week. Um, but it's just like he's slowly just bleeding out. I would love one more week out of him. And just to see if he can kind of keep it going because he's getting the usage. I like the upside a lot.
Do you have
Um,
somebody you're waiting in the wings? You said he's bleeding out. Do you have a tight end that you've been eyeing, maybe in free agency? I don't see one on your
Yeah,
bench
there's
here.
a couple of guys. Like I was looking at John Smith might be an interesting one. I had Evan Ingram, who he's the
Concussion.
reason I'm in this mess.
Yeah,
He's the reason I'm in
concussion.
this mess. He's been terrible. Um, so there's some other guys. And it looks like what's crazy is as we're watching and it's happening right now. Darren Waller has 2 touchdowns in this game.
So this
I don't know
should
if
be
you've seen
noted
this.
as well. This is also breaking news as we happen. So the listener probably already knows this. Tyreek Hill, apparently a nasty injury. I don't know if you've seen that
Oh,
group chat. So the group chat that we're in, Jesus, Tyreek. Also, Carlos called me. He has, I believe, Tyreek Hill trying to catch up to me. And yes, and he did. I don't know. He got injured in some capacity. I don't know yet, but so that's kind of breaking news here. Is Tyreek Hill got injured, so that's why maybe Waller's getting those touches there, which is interesting.
yeah. That might be a big. And how do you feel about this double Monday night? Do you like this? I mean, on the East Coast especially.
It stinks to high
Yeah.
heavens, Jake. It stinks to high
Yeah.
heavens.
What are we doing?
It stinks.
Is it
I
because it's
don't like
ESPN? Is that why?
The hour stagger. I don't like because they're like telling you to do a double box basically.
Yeah.
I don't like it. I think it stinks to high heavens of just money grab or whatever. We were going to talk about this, I think, later. But we were going to talk about just like we usually talk about, what's our viewing experience like on Sunday.
Oh yeah. Let's dive in.
And that was kind of what we are going to jump into here. We'll get back to the Latu here. We'll get back to Latu. But we'll come back. But watching the Vikings game in Dublin, right? So speaking of timing and the NFL trying to schedule these games to make as much money as possible, from the perspective of an East Coast viewer, I woke up and that game was on at like 9, maybe 8:30 or something like that. And I was watching football until like 12 o'clock at night. It was a wild experience to be like, it could be on literally every waking hour on Sunday. And I think
Yeah.
that's the first time that I really was like, holy shit, from the time I woke up until the time I'm going to bed, football's on. Besides Sunday football night in America, where they prep for the Sunday night game, that was
Where
like
you
the
take your
hour
first
break.
bathroom break?
Yeah, exactly. That's where I get another big gulp guzzler size of coffee to keep going. you know, coffee. Have I been on the East Coast long enough? Coffee.
Get there.
That was just wild. I wanted to talk briefly about the Vikings game, but did you have anything about this double header on Monday night? What do you think about it before we leave the topic?
I don't know. I just don't like it because it just like I don't know. I usually have like I like one usually. I like one game, but having both kind of feels like a Sunday experience of like the football. I'm switching back and forth. I'm looking at fantasy. It feels a little chaotic and I don't know. I'm not able to watch both. Usually, what I like about Monday and Sunday night is that, and Thursday is that you can actually watch the game,
Mm-hmm.
and then Sunday is kind of like a red zone, whatever, going crazy. So to have the two, it just seems like such overkill. And to your point about the Dublin game, oh my gosh, as a West Coaster, I was up. I had Warren, who
Or
he
Jalen
was
Warren, the running
questionable.
back. Yep, for the Steelers.
Yep. And he was questionable going into the game. I set an alarm for 6:20 a.m., 10 minutes before kickoff.
It's a 6:30 kickoff for you. Wow.
6:30 kickoff. And I woke up
Criminal.
and thank God I did because he was out and ended up, I saw it looked like Slack didn't even get him out of the lineup. Slack actually left him in. So it definitely threw some other people as well because the whole week he was questionable, but the whole thing was like, he's looking to play. He's going to be great, going to get a huge workload. Kenny Gainwell exploded. I ended up picking up Johnson because I was like, oh my gosh, this is it. This is the breakout. Everyone has been like, he's terrible. He's terrible. He's terrible. Here's a chance. And he was like, he had a couple of runs. He had like maybe 20 yards or something like that, but nothing crazy. And it was all Gainwell. So it was a very wild experience to go from like 6:30 a.m. all the way until holy shit, like 8:30 p.m.
That's wild.
Wow.
Crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, they really have a chokehold on Sunday, and I think we should at least address that the Monday night. I feel like they do it as well because they don't want to flop. If there's a flop of a game, at least there's another option. If the game sucks and then viewership just tanks because people are kind of checking out of a bad game, they have another game to go to. So kind of a hedge maybe makes sense, but I don't know. I'd rather. You and I are purists. We'd watch the game. I
Yeah.
think regardless, even if we didn't have the fantasy and stuff implications, the implications. I think we would. We said that last week, and that made me laugh. So I wanted to bring it back. Um,
Alex, as we're
yeah.
talking too, by the way, there's the Tyreek fallout is just
Oh, the blow up in the group chat. You should acknowledge it. The
is
blow up in
going
the group.
crazy.
Yeah.
People are going nuts on. I've got the other league, that Brilliantly Dumb League as well.
Sure. Sure.
And
How you doing
I'm
in that
getting
league? How you doing?
I am like, I think I'm about, we'll see. I got a 70% chance at the moment, but we'll see, because he's got Achan, and Achan can do whatever. He's got Bo Nix, he's got Sutton, but I'm up 48. So we'll have
No,
to
but
see. That'll
how's
put
your
me at
record?
500 though. I'm
Okay.
one
You're
and two.
1 and 2. Okay.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
1 and 2. But I've also had Jaden Daniels, and he has been brutal. So I've played Mariota now 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah.
I got Addison coming back. I got Godwin coming back. I've
Uh,
got
Addison,
Quentin
baby.
Johnston, who I can't get in the lineup.
What do you mean? Why? Oh,
But
because it's too packed with
yeah, I've
players,
got
with ball
Jefferson.
players.
I've got Brian Thomas. Anyway, yeah. So the guys, some people are hitting me up trying to make a trade because Um, they
Somebody
just lost Tyreek.
somebody said about the Tyreek injury. My God, that's one of the worst leg injuries I have ever seen. Um,
No. Oh
they said it
no.
was a hip drop tackle. Dude seems to put a lot of weight down on the back of the leg and ankle. So, oh wow. So it looks it looks like that's why Carlos is probably calling, because he has Tyreek and we're going against each other.
Actually, he also had a wedding thing too. I do have some fun wedding updates with him, but we could chat
Lovely.
offline about that, because he gave me a ring as well. So, all right,
Yes. Yeah.
cool. Well, I mean, that's a huge, big distraction with the whole Tyreek thing. That's kind of wild. The group chat's really flaring up. But do you want to dive real quick? Flaring, it's
Flaring
like an
up
infection.
like it's a
Yeah,
bad staph infection. Sure.
yeah, it's a cold sore. Yeah, fucking.
Ugh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Uh, But do you want to jump into pick'ems here? Do you know how
I
you did? Did you look it up,
I
or were
didn't
you
look.
gonna?
Same as last time. Same as what I've been doing. Live
I love it.
reaction. Live reaction. And then the other thing
And
about
now,
the Vikings game, and we'll talk about it with the pick'ems. I did want to talk about the Vikings watching that whole the Wentz roller coaster is what I wanted to talk about briefly. It's a
uh,
brief thing, but we'll talk about it in the pick'ems. That's a
in
good
the pick'ems,
lead into the pick'ems, I think.
out of 16, how many do you think you got?
Well, Doc won because I missed a Thursday night, like you did
So
last
did
week.
I.
Egg
Yep.
on my face.
I continue to have egg.
Yeah, you've always had egg. Okay, so I got out of 15 basically. I think I got. I'll tell you what. I think the line killed me on a couple of these. I'm gonna say I got 8 right. I think I got 8.
8. Okay. And now we do have 2 games still going, so we'll know in a
Okay.
second.
Yeah. Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, but it does have the current projection. Now, can you see it?
It's coming up. Let me pull it in. Pull it into focus.
It's looking like 7 for you at the moment.
Okay.
7 for you, but you got the potential for 9. I'm at 8,
Mm-hmm.
but I have the potential for 10.
Good for you.
We'll see. I think the biggest difference, so we missed the Thursday, we missed the Seattle, Arizona. We both went on to Pittsburgh over
Mm-hmm.
Minnesota. I ended up getting the Detroit covered the 9.5. Now, did you
That
think it
it
was
was
at
the
the spread that
cover.
got
It
you?
was the cover to me. I thought the Detroit would win, and I thought because Cleveland was coming off a big win against Green Bay, I thought low scoring game, closer game. Also, just to briefly talk about Minnesota Pittsburgh, watching Carson Wentz play football again, um, was just wild. Again, big Eagles fans here. Jake, I think you still have the Wentz jersey, if I'm not mistaken. Um,
Yeah.
I forgot
Yeah.
what the experience of watching a Carson Wentz game was like. What I have written here, he's got like 3 true outcomes. It's an interception, it's either a fumble, or it's a touchdown. That is Carson Wentz football. He is running for his life. He is throwing crazy passes. He looks oblivious to not only the rush, but his own teammates. But he's highly athletic, and he's got great arm talent, but man, does he not connect with teammates? Does he not does he not um
Yeah.
he does not rally the troops, he's not rallying the troops. He's just another player cashing his check, doing the best he can. And as an employee, I get that, but as an NFL quarterback that's getting paid millions, tough watch for him. So that roller coaster was
He
fun to get back on for a brief weekend.
he just, my God, he just like, it's so frustrating because he has like the physical tools, and like the potential to just like, I just remember there's this one highlight of him rolling right and then just like doing like a fadeaway out of bounds, and it's just a laser to the back corner of the end zone, and it gets past 2 defenders, and it's like Aguilar or somebody, and you're just kind of like, oh my God, no one in the league makes that. No one else in the league can make that. And then the next time he's trying to slip out and he's doing his weird herky jerk kind of like hip dip down kind of
Oh,
thing
he
that
loves that
worked a
move in
couple
the
times
pocket.
early in the career.
Yep.
And it ruined him because he just kept going to it, and
Mhm.
he would just fumble, or
Mm.
like he would just hone in on a defender. I don't think he would get through progressions. Like he didn't look like he would get through progressions and understand like here to here, back to there, like
Mhm.
audible. It was always just kind of like, I'm looking, I'm looking, I'm looking. He's not open. He's not open. Fuck, I'm just going to squeeze it in anyway. And
I've
so,
I've said this a
yeah,
couple times. I've said this, I think, on this podcast before. He's a hunter. He spent a lot of his childhood and
right.
a lot of his free time hunting deer. So he's studied the movements of deer and doe. And he spent a lot of his environment in their environment, reading, reacting, being sensitive to that, and studying their movement patterns. I think he moves like a deer out there. I think he looks like a deer in the headlights when the lights come on. I think he moves like a deer. He gallops around like it, and it's majestic when it's going well, and it's horrifying like a deer getting hit by a car, in mostly the other times. I mean, that's a greater discussion we can have about how environments affect the human condition, but I think that's what I get most when I see Carson Wentz play, and I think that wraps up probably Pittsburgh, Minnesota for our pick'ems here. I think we
Yeah.
can kind of move on.
The it was interesting. Do you like the idea of having international games throughout the year? There's a part of me that I kind of like. I like the idea of being an early bird, and I like having a reason to be up early and in bed early.
Mhm,
I like that a lot. So there's a part of me where I kind of could get used to them doing. Now, the tough part is the marathon of it, because then you
mhm.
just have the whole day, like you were talking about.
It's a lot.
Um, but I don't know. Anyway,
I
I
I'll
kind
say
of like
this.
the early thing.
I'll say
Yeah.
this. I like the early thing's great. This is what I want to happen. They keep pushing international football, maybe in London, maybe in the UK. You and I, our careers start to blossom in a way
Here we go.
that we're kind of positioning ourselves as sort of, I work in recruitment right now, and I do talk with athletes and things like that. And what if we work our way into a position where, there's the new London Knights coming to the league, an
Uh-oh.
expansion team, and they need
Uh-oh.
people in the front office. They need
Uh-oh.
analytics folks. They need
Yeah.
hands on deck who can travel, who can be here for this. Jake, this is the fantasy draft that we have been training our whole lives for. And we'll get to
Oh my
Madden
God.
later. I'm sort
Yeah.
of teasing the end of the big news about Madden here in EA. But how many fantasy drafts have we done in our life? This is why to answer your question, incalculable, love that they are expanding into international waters, because I'd be down to lead an expansion team. No, Billy Bean it, really Billy Bean it, be the new kid on the block in the league, and we just got a couple of pubs that are our sponsors, and we're trying to push Guinness.
Get by on the margins.
Yeah. And then we got to find these players from all over the world, and we're converting. We have the most rugby players, and our team looks like a rugby team, and we're running the tush push style plays more than anybody, and they hate us. That's English rugby. That's disgusting. We're like, we're the Knights. We're the Knights.
We're the Knights.
You know what? What is the middle finger? It's like this.
We're gonna knight you.
Yeah, and
we gotta start watching Peaky Blinders, is what you're telling me. We gotta watch Peaky Blinders, and we really gotta dig in.
Never seen it, would love to. Never seen it, would love to.
Industrial era, mafia, English, London. Think about like the first factories coming online and just
trust busting.
Power.
Yeah, trust busting and monopolies and the Industrial Revolution. There you go. The Industrial Revolution. Jake.
Love that you're bringing up the ninth grade song I did for a project that was a rap about the Industrial Revolution.
You sure did.
Yeah.
Yep, you sure
That's
did.
the one.
We have the file somewhere.
I would do it. I am right there with the London Knights. I would be all for it. Also happy to do Portland, and I got some family there now, and just be the Lumberjacks. You know what I mean? Just be the Lumberjacks.
That's nice. That would be great. I'm trying to think if that's we'd be competing with the Seattle Seahawks. Probably is the closest.
Or they'd be our arch rival.
Right.
Arch rival.
Right. So I'm trying to think how we'd undercut them as an organization, as a market. I've watched Frasier all the way through, so I kind of have an idea of the culture there of the 90s.
I love it.
That makes me qualified.
Yeah. Perfect. Holy crap. Okay, what game did we get to so far? You were trying to get off it, and that was on me, because I brought us right back to the international, and thank you for going
That's
along.
what I think the listener loves about this show is we try desperately to stay on topic, and boy, do we fail miserably. But that's the fun of it. That's the fun of it. We are now on to the Giants and Chargers game.
I know. We both took the Chargers.
How could we have seen this happening? The Dart era starting off this way?
I know. Wild. And I'll tell you another thing too, is I am very bullish on Herbert. I think we talked about this. Do you remember in the offseason, he had these outside shot at MVP? And you were what is he doing?
Jumped on the hate wagon. If there's a bandwagon, I was on the hate wagon. I said he's overrated. This is BS. I'll tell you what, you can see clearly now by all of my actions, because this is how you really know what people are thinking, is you watch their actions, right? You don't listen to their words. This is just, you should do this in life. This is unsolicited advice. My actions, I really thought they were going to be a run-heavy team with Greg Roman, and my actions were sell on Herbert, buy on Omarion Hampton, and it's been okay for Hampton, but God, was I wrong about Herbert, huh? I was wrong. I'll eat crow. But just preseason so far, like I said, it's just the first 4 weeks. This could still go south on him,
I do think he, the whole team, like last year, they ran the rock. I think a lot of this is just them throwing like crazy to set up the tendency to end up being able to get an advantage in the thing they really want to do, which is run the ball. Now, the other thing that's a part of it, Slater goes down. They also lost Joe Alt. Their other tackle.
Alt? When did Alt
in
go
this
down?
game?
Oh, I didn't realize.
I mean, MetLife took another one. They took Neighbors, and MetLife took Alt.
Well, we got the Neighbors one too. Oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah.
And MetLife is undefeated because that was the opening game for MetLife. That was their first of the season. They were on the road, so they were fired up. You saw a lot of pasty white North Jersey guys out there in the stands, right in the sunlight, soaking it up. And they went out and they were, I mean, what a game. I feel like the whole atmosphere around it is just ravenous. Like it feels like they took this Knicks energy and they still have it and it's still kind of pulsing and they're just kind
I'm
of
sorry, what
rolling it into
energy?
the dart era.
What energy? What energy?
Knicks, the New York Knicks.
Oh, the Knicks. I see. Okay. Yeah. The Knicks. I thought you were thinking like Bo Knicks. Okay, gotcha. Okay. Yeah.
No. The
Bing bong. You're
basketball
talking about the
team. I feel
bing
like
bong. Yeah, the bing bong energy. Yeah, those guys. Well, dude, and
yeah.
the Mets let them down, huh? We don't need to get into baseball,
Yeah.
but the Mets had one of the biggest collapses, did not get in the postseason, and maybe they have some of that energy going into it as well, maybe.
Oh, no. Oh, as a Phillies fan. Oh, sorry about it. Oh man. But the Giants, I mean, they are like a defensive team, I think, with where they spend their money and what they're doing
Mm-hmm.
and where they put their resources. All the edge rushers, they've got great ones. They paid for a new corner, they drafted a corner, they've got good safeties, they got a new safety, and then and they brought in a linebacker, Okereke, a couple of years ago too. So I feel like they're built to be a defensive team. And man, Alex, what about Scadaboo, huh?
Ah,
Just like
wow.
he is like it is so funny. It's so poetic to me that between us and AJ, we end up taking just the crown jewel of the Giants in
Mm-hmm.
Saquon Barkley. He comes to our team. And then the very next year,
Mm-hmm.
his team takes the crown jewel of our college and like the
ASU.
only playoff appearance ever they've had.
Mm-hmm.
And he now has that. It's just like this beautiful symmetry happening.
And now he's rooting
It's just,
for our favorite running back in college. We're rooting for his favorite running back. And the Scadaboo, I'll tell you what, I thought that he would be good. I didn't think he'd be great. I thought he was a good college running back, but he runs like he's ready to die on the field. He
yeah.
runs
Yeah.
like any run could be his last, and he runs with absolute reckless abandon for
Did you
his health and his neck.
did you see the GIF I put in the group chat? I don't know if you did you see
Let
the
me
one
see
about
here.
Scadaboo? It was the tippers, but
Oh, the
I
battering ram in
yeah,
you said you got a battering ram one, and you had another great one, which was
uh,
from Lord of the Rings, which is that big goblin with a big head that runs. He's also basically like a big goblin battering ram, and he runs head first into the wall, basically. But it's
yeah,
the point being, this guy's going to run his head directly into a wall.
yeah, yeah. I mean, and he is fun. I feel like the team really needs this some energy. He just brings energy. It feels like Dart brings energy. Um, pretty cool win. And I'll tell you what, as an Eagles fan, watching the division this week, you've got the Giants who end up, I mean, they get the win, but they're still 1-3.
hmm
Um, so interesting there. It is so funny for both Green Bay and Dallas to tie. To me, as an Eagles fan, that's incredible because
Yeah,
Green Bay is a big conference competitor. And I think Dallas is the Bengals from last year, where they're going to just miss the playoffs and just be in shootouts every week. And
and
and for
tie
them both to not get a win.
tie. What a wild
Yeah.
game! Did you watch that game? I mean,
I
we can
watched
jump to
some of it, yeah.
I watched the whole thing. It was a really entertaining football game. And now we skipped over a couple of games here.
Mhm.
Atlanta, Washington. We got that one. That was good that it was a 2.5 because they just won by a touchdown, it looks like. Um,
Yeah, and that's another again for the NFC East, like the Giants win, Eagles win, Manders lose, and then Dallas ties, and then
yeah.
also on top of it, Green Bay tie. I think the Rams are the real competitors in the conference.
When
Is
we
what
got
it's
their
looking
number. We
like.
got their number. We're like they are to us what we are to the Buccaneers.
Bucks. Yep.
Exactly. Yep. Because They play us really, really well. We just keep winning the games though. Like they do enough to win a game, but the Eagles just keep sneaking out of there with W's.
Yeah, they do scare me the most because they were close. I mean, it was a blocked kick, right? It was a blocked kick from winning.
Biggest comeback
Um,
the Eagles have had, I think, in like 5 years, I think, or something like that.
yeah.
So
So
pretty significant
yeah,
effort to win that game. And then they won obviously this Tampa Bay game, which was the opposite. We were dominating to start. We can't put
I
two
know.
halves together. This is what they do is like
Yeah,
one half's great, the other half's like looks the opposite. It's like,
yeah,
is it planned? It almost feels planned. I know that sounds naive and almost like homery to be like, no, 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 they don't fall off. They're just planning to play worse, like
yeah.
um but I don't know. It did seem crazy game. I mean, do you want to jump into the game? What was your viewing experience? Did you watch the game? Were you able to watch the birds, or did you watch kind of a medley of games?
Yeah, this is my first time because of our conversation. I didn't realize that you could pick the multi-view because I've been watching on my laptop, which doesn't have that feature. When you go on desktop view, you have to be streaming to then be able to do the multi-view. Um, and so I ended up doing the multi-view and I just had Eagles on one side, Red Zone on the other. Um, I also was playing a little Civ, so I was just kind
You
of
are a
crazy. I was,
sicko. What did you
I
play,
know.
dude? What
Well, you know what it was? I was up early with the earlier game. And so I
fired
just
up?
stayed up, played a little Civ action.
What
I thought
civ?
it'd
What
be
civ?
fun if
What
I was
civilization?
Scotland. I was
Yeah,
doing, I was,
the
I was
golf
doing
courses.
golf courses.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah,
Yep. Yep.
yeah. You are
Um,
Robert the
so a little
Bruce.
bit of
Robert
fun.
the Bruce, the
Yep.
leader.
Yep.
Yep.
I thought I had to do a little UK nod there. But
Ryder
yeah,
Cup
so
happened.
anyway,
Yeah. Mhm.
what's that?
With the Ryder Cup in C, that was perfect.
I
On theme.
know. I
You're on
know.
theme. Hmm.
So that was a fun little thing. But I watched the double screen and
Did
I'm
you
kind of
start?
flipping back and forth with the audio from either the Eagles game or if it's on commercial, it's Scott Hansen
Yep.
voice. And I'm just going back and forth on the big screen. We got the cube all locked and loaded. We've
You
talked about the
guys in the
cube.
cube. The cube. I'm
I
so
know.
jealous of your cube. I wish I had a significant other that I could cube up with. That would be great. Or
It's
just
a
a cube.
fun,
The
it's a
cube
fun,
like the couch and we've explained it before, but the couch and then you have all the blankets and the mattress topper. I think is really the big thing that gives it like
yeah.
just a
It's
big
basically
play pit is what it feels like.
yeah, kind of in the living room.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty fun,
Comfy. The
pretty
cat's
fun.
up there. You guys got your laptops and your games and your devices and
Yeah, it's a
looks
fun,
fun.
it's a fun kind of outing. Yeah, so we did that because we did a big. I'll get in the weekend later, but that was my viewing experience. So I did get to actually hone in on the game. I
Uh-huh.
got to really watch. I'll tell you what, our buddy Aaron, who's a big Bucks fan,
Uh-huh.
constantly he has been just poking us in the side for years. I
Yep.
mean, they got that first Super Bowl. I mean, in our friendship era, and they got the Tom Brady Super Bowl,
Mm-hmm.
and I feel like he's just kind of had this, like, oh, it's it's cool what you guys are doing, because I feel like he didn't respect the Eagles as being very good because the Bucks would always beat them.
Dominated.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah. And so the Eagles, I think, have been a better team than them the
Mm-hmm.
last few years. It's just stylistically the way they match up. And
But also,
and so I
AJ
think it
Brown
wasn't
had.
until the Super Bowl.
Sorry, go ahead. I was gonna say you said stylistically. I meant like also AJ Brown hadn't played in like a lot of those games,
Yeah.
and they always would be blitzing a lot, and like you
Yeah.
know you can't really blitz as much when you have AJ Brown that they have to double the whole game,
Mm-hmm.
and so that's been part of it that has gone under the radar of like that rivalry. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there. I thought you were. I jumped in too early there, but yeah.
So spot on. So
Mhm.
spot on. I think the injury too. And I think they had one. Obviously, they didn't have Evans this time around, but
Right,
we also didn't have Devontae Smith last year either.
right.
So that was just the last one. And I think even some of the ones before. But for him, I think it wasn't until now that we've won the Super Bowl this past year. And then now with this win, it feels so much. It feels like a little bit of a role reversal. And the dynamic a little bit, because he seems a little bit chippier than he has been in the past, because he was sending a couple of things. I was so fired up. I just immediately sent that GIF of the blocked type of thing. I don't know if you saw that.
Well, as you know, Instagram, I've deleted off my phone, but I wanted to see that conversation. So I literally downloaded it, looked at that conversation, liked some things. This is all after the fact.
Yep.
And then I deleted it again. just for that conversation. I went through like some of the other conversations on Instagram that were like, like a lot of the fantasy stuff and whatnot. But yeah, so I did see that. I did see it, but not like during the game. I wasn't like locked into it.
I was so fired up after that block, because he was sending a lot of stuff right before the game about the tush push and them stopping the tush push. And it felt like poetry, because, we get the block immediately. I'm fired up. I send that. He doesn't really say anything. So it's like, okay, we're not going to be chatting too much. And then it was a slaughtering. It felt like we were going to just crush them like the Super Bowl.
It did feel validating, like the Super Bowl is great analogy, because it was this team that had taken something from us, like the previous Super Bowl where the Chiefs beat us. This is a revenge game. So the Tampa Bay felt like a revenge game as well. And it felt like a way to really prove ourselves. We start with the block. The block is hot. We're going crazy. We're up 24-3 at one point, I think, was like the maybe 21.
I think into half, they hit an NFL record 65-yard field goal to bring it to 6. Yeah,
now,
into half. I was going to say, before we even get past the halfway, I felt like it was a very encouraging match, like change of strategy in the matchup, which was, I love that Sirianni and the coaching staff said they didn't have this like massive pride or something about the tush push. Instead, they do the counters. And finally, like, we have been waiting like 3 years for these counters to be more prevalent, but no one can stop it. So it's never necessary. So the one team that can stop it and committed resources to stopping it now gets the counters, and they worked flawlessly.
Incredible. Walk-ins
to Goddard.
Those Goddard little shovel arounds, that is the type of stuff that Petula, if that's you, gotta give the guy some flowers, because that's the type of like little wrinkles that I feel like people give Andy Reid a lot of credit for. Like, goal line, that's where you make your money. That's where you score touchdowns. The red zone, they've been phenomenal in the red zone. I feel like they do not take field goals hardly at all. I can't even remember. I feel like maybe I'm up my own tush here, but like, I'm pretty sure they're like 8 or 9 for 9 in red zone, and it's like all touchdowns. It's like
pretty good,
pretty great. And what I was gonna say about this game is, like, started off with Quinyon Mitchell talking a lot of BS to Baker. He was getting in his face, so it's chippy in that way. We blocked the punt. That's kind of chippy. Cooper DeJean gets a pick, but then they overturn it. So it was another thing.
Before that, do you remember the tackle before the play before? He gets the taunting call.
Baloney. He walks over him and doesn't say anything.
Yep.
Baloney. That was another thing. This is what I wrote down. This is what I keep looking at here in the notes. I have never been this kind of weird and angry watching a game. I got weird and angry, and I'm happy I was by myself, because I was yelling at the TV. Every time they got a penalty, I felt like the refs were keeping them in the game. Like, it would have been even a bigger blowout. And I kept yelling, "Oh, get your government cheese. Just get your government handouts. Huh? Oh," every penalty that the Bucks got, I felt like was a free handout. And I'm yelling, "Get your government issued 3 points, because we we had that walkover where he nailed him. He nailed him, and then they call taunting. Okay, 15 free yards. It's probably like 20 free yards.
Are you watching Fox News before this, or what?
Exactly. Exactly. That's what it felt like. I said, "Get your government cheese," and I at one point yelled, "Oh, little mice are going to get the cheese!" I was really locked by myself. I'm a psychopath, and they got penalties that led up to these field goals, and it felt like it should have been 24-0. It should have been 28-0. It was 21-3, then 21-6.
Meanwhile. I was CNN. I was like, we deserve these penalties as well. We have paid into the system.
That's right. We have been marginalized for so many years, and the courts, the high courts of the off season, are trying to take away our rights. They're trying to take our rights. The NFL is a dictatorship, and we need to acknowledge it, and we need to act now. And that's why we push for the sanctity and the freedom to tush our pushes and push our tushes.
To push our tushes. And that's as political as we get.
Yeah, that's as political as we get. We try to be a reprieve, an oasis from, that's our mission statement, to be a reprieve or an oasis from the madness that's currently happening. So that's as
I'm going to laugh so hard at government issued 3 points. It's hysterical.
I had to talk about that, about the game, and then there's a couple other things I want to talk about this game that it's like adjacent to the game, but I think are just funny little things here. Tom Brady mentioned, if somebody walked over me like that, he goes, I would have reached my arm up there and hit him where the sun don't shine. So Tom Brady now, back-to-back weeks of wild calls where he goes, I would punch a dude in the cock, basically. And then last week was, I'm going to kick a dog. Remember that? Remember that? Yeah. So we got
the family dog.
Yeah, we're going to kick the family dog. Because the guy, to remind people, the guy throws his helmet and he goes, oh, yeah, that happened. It's just like when you go home and you kick the family dog. and it's like,
so much worse that it's the family dog. It's so much worse. I mean, if it was
any dog.
I mean, it's they're all bad. They're all bad. But it does.
Now who's
both
Fox
are horrendous.
News? Now who's Fox News? Huh?
Both are bad. Both are bad, but kicking the family dog is just another detail.
Are you saying a migrant? You saying a migrant, unhoused dog deserves it? Kick that dog. The family dog. How could you? How could you kick the family dog?
I'm just so curious why he put that detail in. Why add that detail? Like, I don't know. It definitely doesn't make it better. It makes it worse to me. Oh man.
Yeah. So anyway, this week he followed that up with punching somebody, because if somebody walked over me like that, like Cooper DeJean did, I would have reached up and hit him where the sun don't shine. So that was funny. And then the last thing I wanted to talk about with this game that I thought was a little funny was they kept wanting more angles. They kept talking about can we get the other angle? And then it was like a third angle, and it was like, yeah, but we didn't see where the ball is. We can stitch together this fourth angle with another angle. And so I thought it'd be a funny sketch idea if they're like, how many camera angles can we get? They're like, okay, before the game, we're going to give every player a colonoscopy, and we're gonna get a camera up every player, and we're gonna look in his lower intestine to see that angle, because we don't
see who's really full of shit.
Yeah, and then we're gonna get the fan angle. We're gonna get the fan angles, the fans angle from this, and we're gonna get every little angle.
I'm thinking of like, just like, and if we could get our production team to stitch that in, and if we could stitch in that other thing from earlier in the week, and they're just stitching in random esque fucking like scenes as well.
And it's like so we can see his attention here. His intention with this late hit, you could tell he meant malice, because we have a picture of his heart right here, and you can see in his heart right here, it was beating faster, and it's
3 sizes smaller than usual.
He was the Grinch. He's the Grinch of
and if we could stitch that together,
yep.
And if we could stitch that together with his previous hits, you could tell this one more malice of a hit.
And if you could stitch that together with the reaction of his family in Whoville, it looks like they all knew this was in his heart. They knew. They grew up with him. They knew this was in his heart.
It was only a matter of time before this was revealed.
If we could get Mike Pereira, can we get Mike Pereira? Mike Pereira, what do you think? We stitched all these angles together. We talked about Whoville. We talked about his lower intestine. We talked about the field. We talked about his heart. What do we think? Yeah, no, that's a penalty. That's a clear penalty. And he's going to be, he's probably going to be ejected from this game and maybe future games as well. And that's going to be a huge fine coming in.
It was very funny to see, because Q was talking some trash, and Baker talks a lot of trash.
He loves to.
And
I love it.
He talks a lot of trash. Yeah, again, everyone loves it. But then when someone goes back at him, they're like, "Ugh, disgusting." And like, what I didn't like, the way I saw it and the way the broadcast stitched it together, they put it as like Baker's talking trash, Q talks right back to him, and then Worf's is like, "You're not going to talk to my quarterback that way."
Yep.
And ends up pushing, and that's when he grabs the helmet or whatever. I'm happy they didn't eject him, because that would have been the second ejection on the season from our best defensive players. I think they understood that, like, they were surrounding him, and then, he was getting a bunch of the chippiness, and it kind of bled over even later into the game to Sirianni starts talking to Baker, which to me, a part of it is kind of like, is he kind of sticking up for Q and taking the attention from Baker? And it's funny because that buddy, Aaron, he sent something where it's like, it's so cringy that Sirianni is doing this. But to me, it's like, well, he's probably like, they're both doing it to each other. So if you think it's cringy if he's doing it, then Baker must come across as cringy a bunch. I mean, I get that he's a coach, so it's different.
Sirianni,
but it seems like a double standard.
I've talked about this. We've talked about this maybe in previous pods or just in general. We've talked about this, but the head coach, the responsibility of the head coach for the Philadelphia Eagles specifically carries additional responsibility in that you need to be a hate sponge. You need to be an absolute hate sponge to get it all off your players. And him yelling at the stands, yelling from the bench to the stands, yelling at people, shaving his head, all of this takes attention off of his players and puts it onto himself. And the WIP and the Philadelphia media are absolute carnivores. They are piranhas. They will eat their own in a heartbeat, and they are waiting for chum in the water. And I feel like Sirianni is just human chum.
Just human chum.
Where he does a great job of taking the brunt of everything. And he looks in that camera. He looks like he's gone through 2 presidencies because his face is all weathered and his beard is all gray now. And he looks in the camera. He looks at this. He looks at all the reporters, and he just takes it all. He just takes it all. Yep. And so that's why Jalen, he's going to spit in players' faces, but that's on me. That's on me. Q's going to talk his talk, but that one's on me because I was talking talk. And, it's like, yeah, it is a bad look, but I feel like he's perfect for Philadelphia and the atmosphere. If you've been to an Eagles game, you realize what he's doing out there. And it does look bad, but it's a tough scene in Philly if you want to make it out there. I feel like
it is crazy the difference between him and Doug Peterson, because Doug Peterson was like, he's much more like traditional coach, I guess is what you say it.
Laid back.
Like much more mellow. And I mean, I do think Sirianni, like, it's crazy. He gets the guys ready to play. He gets them like everyone is always. He just kind of seems like a rah guy, and then he lets the other coaches worry about the X's and O's. It seems like
Mm-hmm.
so. I don't know. I did love. I feel like this is now year 2 of Vic Fangio. I loved. It seems like everyone on the defense is ready to tackle. Like
Oh my God,
everyone.
are they?
There's a couple of
Yeah.
exceptions, but everyone is ready to just be a hammer.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Bucky Irving, punished it a couple times because he's shifty, and I think he got Ringo a couple times, just
Mm-hmm.
doing a little like shifty stuff. But otherwise, I felt like in that first half, especially, I was like, oh my God, we are like emasculating the team.
Yeah.
Um,
That's what they do.
because not only were we winning, we
Yeah.
were just like fucking punishing big hits.
That's
It was
that's
really, really
kind
a
of
lot.
kind of like to tie the two things together, the trash talking and you talking about like they are an emasculating team. Like the tush push itself, I think people hate it because it is just saying we are bigger than you and we are stronger than you. And
Yeah,
that's demoralizing and kind of emasculating to the defensive line. And it does something psychologically. Sirianni is talking crap and you hate him, and that does something psychologically. Quinyon Mitchell is talking crap. Jalen Carter is talking crap. And I feel like they also finish it. Like they'll fight people and they will finish the fight even if you start it, and so they'll get penalties, but they get a huge psychological advantage
yeah,
on the field. And I think that's part of the game that players know. Like it's like that alpha male thing where like you're like peeing in the corner of a room, asserting your dominance. Like it's like that kind of thing. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, yeah. Of course,
Are you gonna
the thing,
co-sign
yeah.
that, or you're gonna co-sign that, or no?
I have to know the situation, but I do understand what you mean by.
I
I
just
do
mean
think they
like
have to have the last laugh always.
you're doing something
Yeah,
overtly disgusting, basically, in total disagreement and harmony with what room you're in order to say it's my way or the highway. So that's the metaphor. That's where I'm coming at.
yeah.
Um, and it is kind of pretty,
The
you know people
the
don't like
the
looking
tush
at it.
push is pissing in the corner, is what it
That's
is.
right.
It's
That's right. It's
walking
peeing
in
on
the
the table.
room,
Yeah,
it's just peeing in the corner, and just going
that's
from
right.
there.
If you take nothing
I
else from
think
this podcast.
that is what it is. I think you're so right in the some of the evidence too is the fact that we have the big Italian enforcer,
Big Dom.
um, Big Dom on the
Hmm.
sideline as well. So I think that's exactly to your point. So all that is great. However, the team came out in the second half and was like, we're just going to sit on this lead. Now, the other thing that has been happening this season and since the Super Bowl,
Hmm.
and maybe probably the playoff run with a couple of the other ones I can't remember, but no, I think just the Super Bowl. Since the Super Bowl, Saquon has been shut down, has not
Yeah.
had a big run. Hasn't had
Yeah.
a big run. I think everyone is just using the Super Bowl strategy
Hmm.
and is just like every defense we've seen this year has been shut down Saquon by all means and make Jalen beat us. And Jalen has just been doing enough and he's just doing it with his legs and he's not involving AJ. And to me, it feels like the team is just kind of like, uh, we will do this whole season has felt like we will do the minimum amount to win. Like we will do the minimum amount to win. I don't know if that's good or not. Every team the last few years under Sirianni has started slow the first
Hmm.
4 weeks, that preseason you talked about. And so I think this one's no different. But that second half, it felt like they came out and they were like, all right, guys, we won the game. Now let's just go out there and just do really bland runs and
Hmm.
just kill the clock, let the defense. And honestly, it would have worked if they didn't get just 2 explosive broken plays. They were both just broken plays.
Yeah. Yeah, the Igbuka touchdown, they had shut him down. Q had shut him down all game. And
Yeah.
believe me, I'm watching. We talked about the trade at the beginning of the podcast here. I traded away Igbuka, so I'm rooting against him now.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is great. This is awesome. And then just one play, two players kind of collide, not collide, but they kind of go in front of each other. And it's Reed Blankenship and Who was it? Who's our
It
new
was
Makuba?
yeah,
Makuba.
Makuba. Thank you. Yep.
Yep. And so is Makuba. So the two of them kind of miss each other. It was a big broken play. And then the other one was Campbell, um, who was matched up, big linebacker, rookie linebacker out of Alabama,
Bucky.
guarding on Bucky Irving on the sideline. That's right. So it's two
That was
rookies kind of with
yep.
close coverage, but they get beat in very close, very tight window throws. Besides that, it's like pretty good defensive day, you know?
Yeah.
Um,
It was those two, both 70 plus yarders. And I mean, the Bucky Irving one was he got a lot of time in the pocket. And I think Campbell just took a moment to be like he didn't know the play was still going almost. He didn't it had just been longer than he expected. And Bucky just had a step on him. And it was just enough that he had just gotten by him. Good throw by Baker, good protection. Um, but then that throw was wild to
he's great.
Igbuka. Like that got in between two, and Makuba probably should have played that a little bit better. Like he was right there. His hand he just turned a weird way.
Yeah.
Um, probably should have had a better look or whatever. And then again, they made a 60-yard field goal. They made like a 50-yard field goal.
Right.
So you're telling that's 17 of their points are a record-setting kick and two broken plays. So I don't know. It definitely felt like they beat them. I'm trying to remember the last touchdown they had. Do you remember? Was it? I think it was Bucky again. Are
Now
you
it
looking
looks
it
like,
up, or should I?
well, I was looking up total yards. Tampa Bay actually had 376 total yards to Philly's 200.
Mm-hmm.
I'm wondering if that's just because that second half, and like we talked about, like 140 of it on two plays, basically.
Yeah.
Oh, we had the blocked punt too. So the
Yep.
blocked punt is a
Yep.
touchdown with no yards attached to it. So
Yep.
that's another one that really hinders the total. It gives some noise to
Also,
that stat.
I'm trying to remember. Didn't we get? Oh, the interception was called back. Did we get a fumble though? We got a fumble that almost shouldn't
We
have been.
did
It was on
we
Bucky.
did get a fumble. His hand was forced. It wasn't his forearm, so it was still a fumble.
Yeah.
And so yeah, that was a turning point and a turnover for a shorter
Was
field for sure.
was that Campbell that forced it, or
Um, who was that forced that? I think Campbell. No, who was it? It made me really happy. Keely Ringo recovered it because I'm really rooting for Keely
yeah?
Ringo. That was his first
Yep.
start today with the
Still buying
injuries.
stock.
Yep, he had a nice little thump on somebody off on the sideline. He thumped somebody, but he did, like you said, he got juked a little bit. But he looked good.
He I
He looked
think
good.
is really good. Like he's good straight line speed, but sometimes I think he doesn't turn as well. Like he doesn't have the ability of like a shorter guy like a Avante Maddox back in the day, or even Cooper DeJean right now, where like they can turn and run, they can you know baseball turn or whatever, and like make
Hmm.
different angles and stuff. I think he's like an awesome like cover three, sit
Yes,
back, backpedal and watch the play, and then break on it, go forward, hit him. I think he's incredible for that, but I don't think his man to man is as good where he's got to like do a crosser. Like when he's going
definitely,
across the field, I think
definitely.
he'll get caught up or
Or a
whatever.
shake, like a shake route, like a shake, like a
Right.
little shake. Any type of
Yeah.
agile movement, like you're saying, he's a 6'2" frame, right? He's a bigger guy, so he brings that weight in his hits. But with that comes the ability to, or the disadvantage of not being able to move that frame around as quickly on shiftier players. Mhm.
Now, Alex, we didn't talk about this because it happened after the pod, but Nolan Smith on IR,
Oh,
and
yeah.
same with Jacorian Bennett.
Hmm.
Um, Now, luckily, it seems like Nolan Smith could be back after 4 weeks. Is that right? Like it looked
Week
like 5 to 6.
9 is what I saw. Week 9
Okay.
is like when they're thinking he might come back. We do have a bye in between, so it's one less game that will be missing him. It's looking like a really good signing with Zadarius Smith. I think he's going to
Yeah.
take a lot of the lion's share, and then everything else will kind of fall into place behind it, like would have been behind Nolan Smith prior to the Zadarius Smith signing. So that's at least positive, but it does suck because I feel like, was just only trending upward. He had a huge breakout last year, and I felt like he was only going higher. Now it's like just Jalix Hunt, and like we could put Uche out there. We could put Aziz Oshalari, could be a guy
Mm-hmm.
that could trend upward. That would be great for the team if he did.
Mm-hmm.
And then also Zadarius Smith, like we said, and I will throw his name in the ring. Maybe when Nakobe Dean comes back, Jahad Campbell goes to the
Yep.
edge, and
This is
now
what.
there's like
Yep.
this like multiple. Is he a middle linebacker? Is he an edge guy? Oh, now he's coming down to edge. So there's like confusion and cool looks they could get to, I think, with that.
I I was just gonna say I think that's the next thing because we lose Nolan and then we get Dean back, and then you have Dean and Bond back to what they were doing last year. You get Zadarius Smith with more of like the power rush kind of Brandon Graham kind of role, and
Mm-hmm.
then you have Campbell on the other side, and then on other different packages you put Jalix Hunt, who did you notice he was back in coverage a couple times the last couple games? It might have been last game, the
Yeah, well, he
Rams,
played.
where
I mean, they always bring this up in his scouting. He played free safety to start in college. Then he bulked up. And I think that was a big reason why he was in that third round. I think we got him after Cooper DeJean and Quinyon Mitchell. He was um, Vic Fangio's guy. And I think that's part of the reason why is he had that ability to do that. He could play the
yeah,
edge, but also he could drop back like that. But I will say I did watch him get pushed around a little bit by Wirfs. So Wirfs is one of the best tackles, if not the best tackle in the league.
yeah,
Um, and there were some pulling guards. I saw him like really get pushed back and lose the edge a couple times. So
yeah.
I'm on the lookout for that now because that is the biggest concern I think with Jalix Hunt is he is more of that passing style pass rusher, but holding the edge is where he really needs to be strong to make him a fully rounded player, you know?
Yeah. I mean, they could move Carter around too, would be interesting. If they
Mm-hmm.
start moving Carter a little bit outside and kind of doing some packages because we love Ujima up in the middle. Excuse me
Bless.
there. Sorry about that.
That's all right.
Um, and you kind of get some other players. But yeah, I think Campbell is a good one for just getting Dean involved because then you've got some really fun, like linebacker, like Jordan Davis and Carter are just the two, and it's like this psycho thing where you just got all these guys.
Yeah. The
You
psycho
get
package. Yeah.
Dean. I think you just kind of blitz more and do some more stuff off the edges. Get Nakobe or Cooper DeJean to help with the edge as well.
Love that idea. And also to fill in what Jake's saying, because I know what you're talking about, but to fill in the listener, the psycho package that you just brought up there was popularized by the Packers when they won the Super Bowl, probably around 2011, I think, probably around that
Yeah,
time frame.
Clay
They had
Matthews.
Yeah, they had a psycho package where they had one defensive tackle, I believe it was BJ Raji, and then five, I think it was, standing linebackers, but they're also DNs. And like you said, Clay Matthews, these guys, are they going to come? Are they not going to come? They're all just kind of moving around at the snap count. And so, yeah, that would look cool with this personnel, I think. I agree
Yeah,
with you. Yeah.
a little bit different with like a two, because I mean, this has been Jordan Davis's best season so far by a
Breakout,
landslide. By
breakout.
a landslide. Yeah,
He
really
needed
big
it too.
breakout.
Yep.
Yep. And Carter has had a little bit more of a quiet start to the season,
Hmm.
but that's totally fine to me because I think he's really solidified his importance and I think he still gets double teams. So, like, just because he's not beating the double teams doesn't mean he's not helping the team just soak up blocks and that type of thing. So, um,
But he
I do
also
think, yeah.
Jalen Carter missed mini camp. I think he was injured or something, and he sat out a
Mm,
lot. So I think he's getting up to speed. Thinking of like preseason ending, I think he's getting into shape too.
yeah. So, interesting. I mean, other than that, I think the defense, like those big injuries, it, they were able to still sustain. I think Lane left the game a little bit. Is that right?
Again, yeah, again. I don't
Yeah.
even know what it was for because before it was like a stinger, I think, in last game. This game, this past game with the Bucks, I don't even know what it was. You look it up there. Yeah, but I mean, Fred Johnson looks good coming in. That didn't seem to be a problem. And I like Steen left the game too, and I like Pryor coming in as a guard, but he looked bad as a tackle. Pryor looked okay as a guard. He looked serviceable. He looked really bad as a tackle. So I like Fred Johnson playing our swing tackle, and then Pryor looks competent as a guard replacement. That looks okay. That looks good.
Yeah. Bummer to lose Steen too. But yeah, I mean, the game, it is interesting. I feel like they pumped, they won. And it was just another, man, thank goodness for that pick at the very end by Campbell in the end zone.
Loved it.
Because
loved it. So happy he got it.
Needed it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's just been he might be pushing for Defensive Rookie of the Year, which is kind of crazy. Given last year with DeJean and Quignon, like this is quite a run of impactful defensive players to get and keep stocking the bomb with, which is pretty awesome. But I feel like we hit most of the things I wanted to chat about. I don't think there was too much else. Is there anything else with the birds?
There is one last thing with the birds. Yeah. I wanted to talk about the blocked kick was by none other than Cameron Latu. Okay. Now, we branded this. If you guys were here from us from day one, we're the fullback podcast. We're trying to find our niche. And we think maybe fullback could be it because every other position is taken. But Latu has come in, and our Lord and Savior, Ben Fanzumer, went down. He died on the cross for Latu's sins. And now Latu is here. What number does he wear? My first ever football number, number 36. He wears number 36. He blocks the kick. He's also playing fullback. He gets interviewed after the game. Eagles PR team gets a camera in his face for the Eagles stuff. They show him his play of the block to get his live reaction of it. What does he say? He goes, it takes a whole team out there. It takes a whole team out there. He goes, it takes a whole team out there, is his reaction to him making by himself the blocked punt to really turn this around. He is going to be our starting fullback. I saw him pancake some really, really, really nice pancakes on some run plays. He's going to be excited for fullback play. Is Jake? And are you ready for this? I saved this for the pod for you. He's from Alabama. He went to Alabama. What's the story, though, Jake? What's the story? Where is he from?
Australia. He went to.
That was a good guess. That was a good guess. He was born in Minnesota. He moves to Utah when he's 13 years old with his twin brother Nathan, who's a D-end at Oklahoma State. That's right.
Is he?
And he spent time with the New Orleans Saints in 2024. And then Cameron Latu played for Alabama. This is his second pro year. So we're just hearing about him now.
Is this the other Latu that is on the Chargers?
Let me look it up. I don't know.
Because
I'll be honest,
there's a very good Latu.
Because
here we go. Football defensive lineman. I mean,
no. So it says here.
So funny.
His twin brother named Nathan. So look up Nathan Latu. And he had a stint with the Saints, it looks like. So that's Cameron. That's our boy.
Oh my gosh. Wow, he is. Oh, he's 6'5".
Yeah, he's a diesel truck, Jake. 244. He's a diesel truck.
Oh, he was a third rounder.
Dude from Alabama. Okay. He went to Alabama.
Yeah.
And
okay.
And so he was recruited to Alabama originally as a linebacker before Nick Saban and Sarkisian suggested he move to tight end. So he's a big boy. He's a big boy playing big position. But dude, our special teams looks great. We've blocked 3 kicks this year already. 2 field goals, 1 punt. Crazy. We're only 4 games into the year.
Now, the one Achilles heel was us trying to return the kicks from the Rams. Do you remember that?
But that was Katie. Now that was specifically, now that we're getting a larger sample size of the year, that kicker, his last name I think is like Katie for the Rams.
Yeah.
He's good. I
Or
think I said
Cardi.
this. Cardi maybe. Thank you. Yeah, if I messed the
Cardi
name
B.
up. But Cardi B. He kicks it like a Venezuelan relief pitcher. He throws some junk balls down there. He throws
just
some real junk
He's
balls.
Got junk in the trunk.
And he's made a lot of people look silly down there, not just Hank Bigsby and Mechie. So now that we're starting to see some of the data come out, it looks like it was more Cardi than it was maybe our returners, because Hank had a couple he had a better day than previously.
Alex, what do you think? Would you trade Latu for Cardi right here, right now? Just in a vacuum. In a vacuum.
No.
You wouldn't?
No, Latu's my guy. Super high on Latu, and we have Jake Elliott is why. I don't think we need a kicker. If we were desperate for a kicker, sure.
You heard it here first. Strong conviction. Love it.
Cameron,
I love it.
We want to have you on the pod. We're excited to have you on the pod.
This is our
We're
formal,
twins. We love football.
Yep.
You're a twin. You played football. We were outside linebackers, but actually called cornerback in a league that didn't pass the ball in 2012 in high school football.
There you go.
You know, there's some backing behind
it. Take that for what it is. I think that's a strong case. That's a strong case. I think he'll love it. I think we could lock him in. You really got me jazzed. I thought he was going to be an Australian, but the twin is even just chef's kiss. Chef's kiss. What is it with the special teamers? Do you think twins are just built for special team? We had Sidney Brown was our gunner last year.
It requires you have to run in unison with a group of guys. You got to run in unison with a group of guys. You got to be on the same page. You got to corral together. You corral the runner together.
Yep.
And then violence. And then violence.
And then violence.
And I feel like being a twin is just like that,
That's the same experience. You run together. Violence.
And then quick to violence.
And then quick to violence. Oh my gosh. Latu. Okay. So pumped. Shout out to Van Sumeren. Do you think, is that a career for Van Sumeren? Van Sumeren's pretty young still, right?
I hope he's not done for. I mean, he's out for the year. Oh, there he is.
Same age as Agar Latu.
Prime of his life.
He's
He's probably getting into a lot of crypto now. Just the way he looks. Nothing else. I got no other. I just saw his picture there. I think he's getting into crypto. He's got a huge paycheck from the NFL. I think he looks like a crypto bro. Just looking at that picture to the left there. I don't know. I just gut reaction. I said it.
Is it this shirt? This shirt is actually it's a
NFT.
Oh my god! What are the NFT? Thank you. I was going to say non-fungible. Yep, there you go. NFT. Token. Yeah, this right here. He's flipping this night. Maybe it's the London Knights. Maybe it's the London Knights. Maybe he has insider trading.
Huh? Oh, you, me, and Ben Van Sumeren. We're going to be the guys. The department
team. Yeah. He's the enforcer. He's our locker room guy.
Our Big Dom.
And then,
he's our Big Dom.
He could be Big Dom. Maybe he's, player. I don't know. We'll have to see. He'll run through a brick wall. That's for sure. Now, we do have to ask him what it felt like and if it was, if he realized in the moment he was pulling an Aaron Rodgers, just starting the season with an injury.
Yeah.
Huge stage. Everyone's watching. Season ender to start it. Gotta wonder if it weighs on him, if he thinks about it like that, or if he's just on to the next game. Because if he's on to the next game, that's the kind of guy I want to get behind.
Honestly, though, wouldn't blame him, though, if he had some reflection about it and it changed him. Part of me injured on that field will never be the same.
Again.
I know. My heart goes out to him. Got nothing but love for BVS.
BVS. Yeah, there we go.
We got a couple little Diddy bits here left. I don't know why I said Diddy bits. I meant Diddy, not as in the disgraced rapper, but I meant more like a Diddy bag. Like we had a little Diddy boop. Like Diddy Kong. Diddy Kong, like Donkey Kong, Diddy
like
Kong.
a smaller, a little add-on.
Yeah,
a little add-on. Maybe we do a spin-off video game based on these next bits.
That's right. That's what these bits are about. Speaking of video game, that's a perfect segue, Jake. You're excellent at your job and what you do and your craft. We were wanting to talk about a piece of news that came by this week.
Near and dear to our hearts.
And pretty much what we're talking about. We love Madden. We love the game. Have played it too much in our whole lives. And just this week, here's the headline. EA, Electronic Arts, was bought for $55 billion. Jake, did you have $55 billion laying around? Did we miss our chance?
I think I had at least one of those billions in the amount of money I've spent on Madden over the years. So
That's
I do
equity.
think I attributed to part of it. So
right.
There
it was bought by $55 billion. It should be noted, I put in parentheses here, nearly $20 billion of that was financed. So this is important. I'll bring up that. So $55 billion total.
20 you get in, Alex?
20 of it was financed. So they didn't have the money. Now, who bought it? Great question, listener. Great question. It was bought by the Saudi Arabian Public Investment Fund. So the PIF. With partners Silver Lake and also the partner Jared Kushner's Affinity Partners. So just some top level guys buying the love of our lives, Jake. And just money
company.
being
parent company.
I know. Yep. And so this now makes them a privately owned company. So you can no longer trade EA, can't buy the stock anymore. And so this is unfortunately the early speculation is this will affect the quality of the video games from EA, which, if you don't know, has already been a dumpster fire. We hate this game.
Cookie cutter.
It's been the same game for years. They bought the licensing for the NFL years ago, so they have no competition. They're a monopoly. They spit out the same game with the same features every single year. They spit on our faces and they tell us we better like it. And now I think it's only going to get worse. And also there's the moral conundrum of us buying a Saudi product now. And
Jared Kushner's.
Exactly. I don't know what Silver Lake is. Maybe Silver Lake is a nonprofit that
maybe it's a twin advocacy group that
what could overcome the Saudi blood and the Jared Kushner PR? What could overcome that? I don't know. So now maybe Madden has more hijabs in the fans. We're going to see more hijabs in the stadium.
Well, what about this? Spin Zone.
Okay.
What if they got the bloating and they rebuild and they bring in a couple of guys? It's maybe this whole time they haven't been able to make progress because there's been too many cooks in the kitchen. And now there's a single-minded focus, and now they can really focus on the art of the game.
Now, I'll say this.
Did I sell?
I do like it, but I feel like we didn't have too many cooks. We had a couple of fat cooks eating their own product. That's what I felt like.
Yeah,
they were, they were really getting high on their
eating
own
the ingredients. Yep.
But yeah, change could be good. Could be good for the franchise. They could want to try to revitalize it. Do I have a moral conundrum buying it now? I already didn't buy the latest one, actually. So I'm already a game behind. I haven't bought the latest one. Do I say it's because of the Saudis now?
There you go.
First live, and now this. It's like, I think the big thing too, this is kind of steering outside of sports here, but yeah, it's EA, which is a lot of the sports games. They also own Battlefield, the big war game. I'll just leave it at that. I'll just leave it at that. They draw your own conclusions.
They've got plenty of other games outside of just the just Madden, but for us, that's the biggest one. Speaking of chefs in the kitchen too. that kind of parlays a little bit into my weekend here. I don't know
Love
if we want to get into
Love
it or
it.
not, but yeah, I ended up doing a
What'd you
couple of
do?
things, doing some
What'd you do?
big errand, big errand. Got the wedding is this weekend, so by the time this comes out, it'll
Wow.
be weekend wedding, pretty much. So we hit up a couple of different things. We hit the Galleria Mall.
Hey now.
Went there. We went there, and I ended up getting a watch for the wedding and a rehearsal dinner outfit. Got some of those, but fun thing, we had this whole day planned. We had to hit the mall. We had to hit Costco. We had to hit CVS, and we had to hit FedEx, and we were just Aaron's day.
Big
We
day.
get out, yeah,
Wow.
big day. We get out there, and Lisa didn't have her phone. She left her phone at our apartment.
Really?
Her and I are now, it turned into early 2000s day at the mall because we can't communicate with each other. We
Sounds
can't
awesome.
communicate.
Well, okay. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry. I'm like
And
fascinated.
so
It sounds great. Gut reaction sounds awesome. But go ahead.
we end up having an idea I want to get into, but it started with like, we go in to one of the like outlet clothing store places for me to look for an outfit, and she's going to go up to the third floor to do makeup, and we were both just kind of like, all right, well, I gave her my phone, I had my watch, and I was like, you know, at, you know, 20 minutes, meet back at this spot. And I'll
Yeah.
see you here. And then we just went our separate ways. I had no texting. I couldn't Google things, couldn't Google prices. I was just walking around, seeing what kind of vibed with me. I hit the fitting rooms, and I got back and I was like, this is what I got. And it, it turned into, I end up getting my stuff. We're walking through the mall. We're making our way to the next shop, and we're just walking through the mall. And we were just had this idea. We want to do with our group of friends a 2000s, like either call it like a middle school day or like a 2000s day where we get a group of friends. We all go to the mall. We go see a movie, and then we go like bowling or something.
Oh,
And we just,
oh,
well, how fun
love
would
that.
that be if you're just going around the mall and no phones? You can't use your phone.
Mm-hmm.
And you just go around, you're in the mall, you're just hitting all the shops, you hit the Wetzel's Pretzel, the Annie
Mm.
Ann's, and you just kind of walk around. So it was pretty fun. And then we end up we get to Costco, and they still do $1.50 dog and soda. It is incredible.
Jake,
It is
you didn't.
incredible.
It is incredible. Did you tell me you got the chicken bake? Did you get the chicken bake?
I did not get the chicken bake. I did
No,
not.
Jake.
No. I
Oh,
I will say
oh
I
no.
am
Oh,
I used to, I had a stint. I went to Costco a lot right out of college, and I get the chicken bake religiously.
okay, okay.
Um
So it's not like you've never done.
so
Okay, okay. That's
yeah,
fair.
yeah. I've had it and I've been there. And the other thing that I realize is when I move, I want to live next to a Costco for, if no other reason, they do a $9.99 18-inch pizza that you can
Right.
just pick up. If
Yeah.
you've got kids, just
Yeah.
go get 3 pizzas and you're just done. 2 pizzas even. Like, ah, we were walking around. We had this massive quarter-pound all beef hot dog with a soda, $1.50.
That feels good. It feels good.
Insane. It was insane. And a smoothie. I got a smoothie. They had a strawberry banana smoothie, and it was incredible. Now that was like $3, and I was like, oh my God, this is crazy. But still, we
$3 is still
paid
pretty good. Yeah.
2 smoothies, 2 hot dogs, 2 drinks, $8 for the whole thing.
It does feel like early 2000s, huh? Kind of feels like early 2000s with
Yeah.
those prices, and
Yeah.
you guys had a whole
It
day
was,
of like Y2K day,
oh,
kind of. Yeah.
and we went in there. This was actually our first Costco outing together, and for me in years. We ended up getting the membership. Now, the reason we had to go was to buy all of the alcohol for our wedding. And we went at like the busiest time we possibly could, which was like 1 p.m. on a Saturday. It was
Oh,
just,
buddy, yeah, I do
uh,
love Costco, but God, do I hate it is so crowded because everybody knows
oh,
how good it is, and
yeah.
it does get like crazy in there.
Oh,
It gets
it was,
wild in there.
it was crazy. We had like, I was the one with the cart. And again, we have no way of communicating.
Mhm.
So it is packed. We're making our way through the aisles, and I'm locked in. And Lisa's like, I'm gonna go grab this. I'm gonna go grab that. And I was just locked in. And I was like, well, I gotta just turn down somewhere because I'm just stuck going down this this main aisle.
Yeah.
Um, luckily I got to hit the free samples a couple of times. Um,
Any
and even
faves?
before
Any faves on the Samps?
they had a sausage, egg and cheese little breakfast Sammy that was really hit
Mm,
the spot. Really hit the
mm.
spot. Now, the other fun thing I will mention is because this was our first time grabbing Costco membership, we took our pictures for the membership and they printed on our cards. So we had that. Lisa goes up, I go second, and I I asked her, I was like, hey, can I do like a James Bond? Just like an around the around the shoulder, like just one of these. And she was like, yeah, sure. And as I'm doing it, Lisa says something, I laugh. So I just have this over the shoulder laughing kind of
I
thing.
really I would love to
It's
see. Do you have it on
it,
you? I would love to see
it's
your
in my
Costco
wallet.
picture.
It's in my wallet. I have it right now, but I can show you in person too. Um, it looks
Oh,
so silly. It looks
I would
ridiculous.
love to see it. That's
Um,
awesome. That is awesome that it looks ridiculous. You do. You look like, "Oh my god, it's candid?" Like you're like, oh, I didn't even know we're taking a picture." This looks like
it looks
Jake, it looks like a MySpace picture. Maybe because I'm thinking early 2000s, but it looks like a MySpace picture that you'd put,
it
like, on
it
your
looks
profile.
ridiculous. Yeah.
Awesome. It looks
And
great.
it's just so funny because in my head it was a cool James Bond thing, and then it turns into like wide mouth, like laughing type thing. Yeah,
Sure,
yeah. It
sure.
was yeah,
Incredible.
quite a difference.
Now I'm gonna ask you, can you take down this shared screen so I can get a little bigger version of you? Because I want to see that picture one more time with just a bigger
Oh,
screen here, because it was a little bit
great call.
smaller. Um,
Yeah,
and then
I'm gonna give it.
also
I'm gonna.
would love to hear about, as you're looking that up, what uh what was the damage at Costco? Because it can get up there sometimes. And did you get any good deal? Look at you. You look. It looks like not LinkedIn, but a niche recruiting site. Like it looks like your profile picture for a niche recruiting site for a fun startup company. This is not your normal startup company. This is a fun company that has a ping pong table, and that's your shot right in front of the ping pong table. Like, I work here. I work here. Hey,
Oh, whoa!
uh-oh. Didn't see you there. Yeah.
I know,
Excellent.
and
Excellent.
it's so funny just because what I thought I was going for was, fucking 007 like
Suave.
this.
Yeah,
This
you're
is what
right.
I thought, like but boy, was it a swing and a
It'll
miss
humble.
there. So, yeah.
Those cameras will humble you. They'll humble you.
All right, brother. Well, with that, I think we wrapped this bad boy. I think we hit it all.
Let's do it. Let's
But
wrap it up.
anything else? Any last things before we head out here? Hit the old road?
Well, this is the last one we're going to do before your wedding. And just want to say, brother, I love you. I'm so proud of you. I'm so happy for you too. Um, I've been getting ready for my speech and everything, the best man speech. It's going to be short. It's going to be sweet.
Nice.
But hopefully maybe a laugh or two in there,
Yeah,
nothing
of course.
crazy, nothing
Of
crazy.
course. Yeah.
Excited for the weekend. Really excited. Taking
It'll be
Thursday and
great.
Friday off. I think taking Monday off even for travel days. Um, So excited to see you. Excited to
I've
see
actually
the
got
family.
to speech. I got my vows here. I did a makeshift. I did Scotch tape and kind of did like a laminate. So I
This is giving
yeah,
me
got it.
like Steve Spagnuolo on the sideline, you know? You're doing like a
The play
little
sheet. I'm
little
just
play
like
sheet. The little play sheet. Hold it in front of your microphone here, or in front of your
spider
mouth.
Y2 banana.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, we're gonna run double dog
Yeah.
on this. We're gonna run dog blitz. We're gonna run cobra off the edge.
Yeah. I was very jealous actually. Lisa was in the office and she was at USC, and so she had a full office to work with, and she actually professionally laminated hers. And I was like, oh shit.
Dude, you guys,
I've gotta.
you
So I'm at
guys
home
are
with Scotch tape.
you're the most organized, about to be married couple I know. It's awesome. Your spreadsheets, your organization, tip top. I'm excited. This is gonna be so much fun. I can't wait to see everybody and have everybody
Oh, it's
see
gonna be a
each
blast.
other. You know, see everybody seeing each other. Um,
Are you more excited for other people to see each other than for you to see people? Is that what you said?
No. But in addition to me seeing everybody, in
Sure.
addition to me seeing everybody, like as an
I
example, I
love it.
know, like mom, I know like she doesn't get to see people because she lives on the West Coast, and I know Tyler has been wanting to see her and hang out with her and get to know her and stuff. And so I don't know, there's like little like connections like that. Tyler, our cousin, for the listener. So yeah, it'll be just fun families, and I really am excited to meet Lisa's family too. I'm excited for that. That'll probably be a majority of it for me as well.
Nice.
Any tips as I get to meet them, or just be
It'll be
myself
it'll be
kind of thing?
it'll be really sweet, I think, for you've met Brandon and then to meet her
Nicole,
sister
Nikki.
Nikki. Yep, Nikki, and then the
Is it
kiddos.
Nicole or is it just Nikki?
Nikki.
Nikki. Okay.
Yeah. And then to meet the kiddos too is going to be really fun. I think I'm very excited for the little kiddos, Lila and Eloise, to see you because they know me. So I'm very excited for them to be like, "Whoa," you know? Uh,
Twins. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. That'll be
So that'll
fun.
be very fun. I'm excited for that. That'll be cool. And then her dad too, of course. But yeah, it'll be awesome. It'll be great. And
I'm
we'll have
excited.
plenty of stuff to talk about, I'm sure, the next time. But oh
Post
man,
wedding episode. We might need to do it. We might need to delay, guys, the
yeah,
release date, because Jake we'll all have a lot to do, but Jake, you'll have a lot to do. It's your wedding weekend, so lot going on this weekend. So maybe
yeah,
it might be a delayed release for the next one here. But we'll see. We'll
yeah.
see.
I might be able to get this one out, but the following one might be a little bit tricky. But we'll see. We'll have
Yeah.
to see.
Yeah.
But oh, all right, brother. Well, this is lovely as always. I think that is going to be it, and appreciate you guys listening. And we'll see you next time on Going Yard.